Evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the third segment of our True Talk Thursday podcast. We're going to continue the conversation, but before we do so, if you like what you hear and want to learn more, feel free to subscribe below or tune in next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, Francois. So, Evelyn, we were talking about how, first of all, I got to tell you, it's been just a joy and a blast to be able to have a freestyle conversation with you.
Absolutely.
That's what makes the podcasts go so fast, right?
Yeah.
But I really wanted to wrap up the segment by talking about what would be some resources, or how could we make sure that like we talked about at the very beginning, collaboration continues, that we have the dialogue, that we have the resources, so that we can start moving and forging forward, so that we're not stuck in this idea that going back to normal is the way to go. Are there resources that you have made available for your members when it comes to reopening?
People can go to AFT.org and type in the reopening plan. I think it's a moment in time that teachers, parents, administrators, we have to be the advocates. We have to be the voice for our children, for our communities, as you know, especially the communities of color. So people need to start questioning, if we're going to go back to school, what is the plan of action? The teachers should know it. The administrators should. We should come together with meetings and say, this is the reopening plan for our school. This is the resources we've had. This is the money that's come in. I know in New York that we have school leadership teams where parents, administrators, people from the union, every union's on, and everyone gets a chance of a vote and say, I think this is going, and majority wins. That's in one state. In other states, they have boards. You should be going to your school boards asking, what are we asking for? What is our reopening plan? People have to become advocates and have to really know what they're entitled to. I'm sure your administration, I know the AFT has reopening plans. We have resources. We have everything on our website that you can go to. And and if anybody, needs to talk to me, they can, email me, idejesus@aft.org. And we're here.
That's excellent.
Everything we need to do to support teachers during this pandemic. We have Share My Lesson. We have lesson plans. We have everything. So please get on and Colorín Colorado for our English language learners. We have tons of resources for teachers and administrators. So anything that, we can do, we're here. We're here to partner with you. We're here to walk with you. We're here to advocate with you. We're here to fight with you. And we're here to be voices for the people, for the voiceless.
Excellent. I'm so glad, you're able to share those resources, and I think that's the call to action, right? We always like to leave with a call to action of how do we get on the same page. Collaboration is critical. We've seen that the states that are doing far better than maybe some others, it's because there is communication first and foremost. Even if it's a little bit, there's communication, constant, right? About the things that are most important to who? To those that are affected by that. And the collaboration piece is of equal importance. Having an empathetic ear to be able to maybe not always agree on the how, but agreeing on the why, because that's such a bigger question. And I think that it gets back to that trust and that confidence level that we've, underscored all night. I want to invite you, you talk about the collaboration piece and being supportive with ALAS. I want to share with you that on March 9th through the 12th, we're doing what's in concert with NABSE. And NABSE and I are co-hosting, or ALAS are co-hosting a EdFest. And the EdFest is to do just like what you were saying. It's to bring everybody together, from students to teachers to parents to volunteers to the administrative of school personnel, support personnel, board members, and even our business partners, because we know that we can't do it alone. We need to start saying how we could do things differently, particularly when we talked about the broad bandwidth issue. Nobody's even talking about 5G, and that drives me personally bananas, because that should be in our schools. When we talk about rethinking how to do school, that should be a big conversation. But the point of this EdFest, Evelyn, is to, and I'd offer a spot for y'all or a couple spots so you could do something as an outreach from the teacher side. Because I'll tell you what, yeah, we hear, the onesie, the hands, the fulls of teachers, the bucket full of teachers, whatever you want to call it, where it's like, wow, it's really been exposed. But the reality is you can find that in any business. I don't care what it is, right? And so I think we sell ourselves short by not showcasing what we know works. And we know that teachers, there's so many out there that are bending over backwards, just like there are administrators who don't have enough hours in the day to support their teachers. And so I think it's important to showcase that. So I want to personally invite you and your members to be able to do that, because if there's ever a time we need to honor the work that's being done out there, it's right now. So
absolutely.
I'm super excited about it. We're going to have all kinds of stuff for kids, classrooms. You can do it during class time, but it's going to be on the latter part of the day here on the East Coast. But we'll get all that information. And for our listeners or anyone who's viewing, and if you want to push it out to your members, you can find all the information on alasedu.org. And so I want to give you just a couple of minutes, Evelyn. What would you like to sign off with?
What I want to sign off is, we need to open our schools. We need to have them safe. I would ask our members that are fearful, take that fear and put it into an energy and become an advocate, because that energy will make you the best that you can be. Fear will cripple us. And right now we have to move forward for the next generation. This is a year that has been a pandemic that we've never seen, but we don't know if we'll ever see something like this again. We have to prepare ourselves. We have to be ready, and we have to look to the future for what's coming. I'm excited for this opportunity. I know it's been a challenge, pero basta ya. We're here, we're walking together, and I'll say to my members and your members, take that fear, put it into advocacy and a positive attitude, and be the best that you can be, because these children need us, they want us, and we need to be there, full-fledged, presente. Thank you.
Exactly. Well said. I'll tell you, that's a tough one to follow there, because we're right there with you. We believe in the same kinds of things about, education is so critical. There's a reason why we call, things that haven't happened in 100 years. In education, you learn. We're a part of the history right now. We are living the history. 100 years ago, when stuff was, when the snow was falling beyond in places that never thought it would, that happened before. This is not the first time that something like this has happened on our planet. Yeah, there are other factors that come into play, but we tend to forget our history. That's why education is so important.
And we don't want to repeat the bad things of our history. And cuando estamos viejitas and our grandkids, we could say, I remember when, but I also could say, I remember fighting y luchando hasta lo último.
There you go.
Gracias.
Y con eso, Evelyn, it was such a great pleasure to have you.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed myself.
Good.
Thank you so much.
And we hope to see you in March.
Absolutely. We'll be there. Thank you so much. Bye, Maria. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Hey there, and don't forget, if you like what you hear and want to gain some more insight into what school districts are facing now, then tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. or subscribe below. We thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great night.